Here's the Sneaks Adventures.
We're going to be talking to some of the world's top personal brands, from a former professional athlete turned lifestyle entrepreneur to the expert to the experts to a guy who's created a personal brand all about the pizza. This is their ambitious adventure. I'm Greg, a best-selling author and media personality who sold millions of dollars of products and services to help entrepreneurs start and grow their business.
I'm Brandon, a podcaster and crowdfunding expert that throws events across the country to help young entrepreneurs create their next 6 to 7 figure business.
And we're traveling the country to get the stories and the advantages from entrepreneurs who risked it all in order to share their products and their message with the world. This is Ambitious Adventures. Today in business, it's a must to be a celebrity and to have a strong personal brand. Think about guys like Richard Branson and Tony Robbins of the world. Even Progressive Insurance has flow, but what about you? Why should you want to become a celebrity or a personality in your business, and how do you even go about doing it? Well, we set out to Hollywood, California to talk with some of the biggest personal brands in the business space to help uncover the key advantage points that can help you step out of the shadows and into the spotlight.
There's more video being uploaded to the internet every minute than there was content ever created in the history of humans. Jake Paul's the kind of guy who has a video right now that's been seen by 140 million people. Can you imagine that? What if you could learn the secrets to creating that type of video? That's what we wanted to know. So we went down to Jake Paul's compound to see exactly his formula for creating videos that are seen by millions of people all over the world.
Yo, yo.
How's it going, buddy?
How are you, dude?
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. This is quite the place.
This is it, man. This is where it all goes down.
This is where it happens, huh?
Team 10 headquarters.
You got a lot of artwork here.
Yeah, so we have a P.O. box, and like our fans just like love drawing us stuff, writing letters, sending it in. So we just hang it up on the wall, and they get to like get featured on.
Is that you?
Yeah, that is definitely me. There's like a nail here, and you put your shirt up on it, and it looks like it's lifting you up. So it's like here at Team 10, we lift people up. Yep. This is the wall of guests. So like whoever comes in here, we take a Polaroid of them and put them up on here. We got some more fan art.
And then just some art.
We got some regular art. Got to make that go up. This open space, we leave it open for creativeness. Yeah, and like we can always like put stuff in there.
So the big question like I want to ask, I'm sure you do too, is like what makes a video shareable and go viral?
I usually have like 5 key tips. The first one being like relatability. We're posting online, so it doesn't need to be like this fully produced, like high production value video. Like people expect a certain level of quality, and that's what you should give them. 2, like finding your niche. You should be making videos that is like within a certain parallel, whether that's fitness, gaming, comedy.
Whatever your brand is.
Yeah, exactly. Number 3 is like short and sweet.
Like 30 seconds or what's considered short?
Yeah, like 30 seconds to a minute. A lot of people leave a lot of fat in the videos, and it's trimming out all the fat. Yeah. If it doesn't push the plot of the story forward for a second, take it out, yeah. And then number 4 for like making a video be really shareable is like having it very like clean. A lot of people when they post things, it's like, a super long caption and hashtags and
don't pay.
Yeah. I mean, you could, a little bit of stuff, make it super, like almost clickbaity, like, like what's gonna happen when I click on this video. Number 5 on the list is using like a lot of music in your videos. You have to think if you want your video to be like shared worldwide, you have to think only like 200 million people speak English. So like if I'm speaking English in my videos and like someone in China or wherever isn't able to understand me. So like instead of saying like, hey girl, you're cute, like in a video in English, like you could use like a song that implies that, like wah, 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 wah. Like, so 'cause music is universally understandable.
Okay, that makes sense.
Being in Jake Paul's house, it was so cool to see him create something from nothing, to just put us into a scene where we're actually creating a viral video in a matter of minutes.
There's this funny song that's going around that like people play after they do something that's like not epic at all, but it makes it seem really epic.
What's the song?
It's called Ultimate. It's like, I am the one, the one, the one. We could like peel a banana
peel some
and then
bananas.
eat it, and then just the song will play, and then they should like zoom the cameras like in and out like really fast, and like he should like shake it and make it seem like it's like a slow motion
Like
movie.
it's King Kong eating like a banana.
Exactly.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
Oh my gosh, this is a real video right now. Like this is what people love, and I think that's the beauty of it, is that yes, people will watch that. Maybe thousands of people or millions of people are going to see that video, and I think that's the beauty of putting yourself out there. So the first step to building your personal brand is to film a video. It's to hit record and get that first video shot, because you can't have 8 million views until you get your first view.
Up next on Ambitious Adventures.
Instead of playing horse, we should have did 2-on-1. It should have been me and you versus Lewis.
Dude, LA traffic sucks.
Dude, even when there's no traffic, there's a jackass on a bike stopping traffic.
The power of podcasting is beyond what people even think. And to look at Lewis Howes, it's allowed him to become a best-selling author and to build his brand in a multi-million-dollar business.
Looking at the outside in, you might just say, yeah, this guy's got a cool podcast. No, he's got a business empire that is all based around this podcast. So I wanted to chop it up with Lewis to see how he is using his podcast to build his personal empire.
How can somebody out there listening like that wants to do their own podcast, how can they stand out? Because you obviously found a lot of great people.
Yeah.
And how can they grow it?
It depends. If you're looking to do an interview show, I think it's a lot more challenging to do today, because there's over 400,000 podcasts out there. So I would almost tell you not to do an interview podcast unless it's going to be unique or different or in a different industry. If you're just going to do another entrepreneurial podcast, it's already been done 1,000 times.
We don't anymore.
Unless you're interviewing people that have never been interviewed, unless you have access to CEOs or obscure entrepreneurs, or it's a specific niche. Otherwise, everyone's been interviewed so many times. And that's why I try not to have many entrepreneurs on my show. So I'm constantly thinking about, how can I protect my audience? You got to find ways to add a lot of value, find ways to really figure out what matters to the person. Yeah, Meatloaf was just in the studio here an hour ago, and he's got a record out right now. One of his previous albums is the 5th selling album of all time. I will do anything.
Is that how he sounds?
But he had Meatloaf there that day, and like Meatloaf isn't being interviewed on the typical podcast.
No.
And I think that's what makes Lewis so unique, is that's who's on his podcast. And he's so clear about, he wants people like that, great people, and that's how he's built his brand. So a big part of your own personal brand is sports, from college football to the arena ball to handball, traveling all over the world. Now there's no handball court right outside, but your assistant did tell us there's a basketball court a few blocks away. You down to shoot a little hoops?
Oh man, let's do it.
Photos is a huge part of your brand.
Yeah, it's everything. For me, photos became important when I saw the value a couple of years ago when I launched this website, and everyone started talking about it. Everyone was like, holy cow. And I just said, okay, I'm gonna start investing in photography more and more and more, and not just once every couple of years, but every month if I could, just to enhance the continued feeling of inspiration. For me, that's what it's about.
I want to see you dunk it. Greg, you said you could dunk it.
You can dunk, Greg?
Some days. Oh, there it is. I think we set ourselves up for failure. Instead of playing horse, we should have did 2-on-1. We should have been me and you versus Lewis. He probably still would have beat
Well,
us.
at least you could try to dunk. I couldn't even get close to dunking it. You tried it. Oh!
We walked all the way to the basketball court, played horse for like 2.5 minutes, and then it was game over. And then he took us to the roof. And this was really, really cool because it really is the epitome of greatness and why he's so great. When you look out and see the view, I mean, where does your mind go? What do you think about?
I think about expansion. I think about anything that's possible. I think about every vision or dream I have is something that I could eventually create if everything lines up in the right way.
So if you want to follow in Lewis's shoes and start your own podcast, it starts by figuring out who your first podcast guest is going to be. Schedule that interview. The second thing is you need to add value to that person, meaning you should have distribution for your podcast. Hopefully you have more than 3 people listening to your show, but you need to add value to them outside of you just taking up their time in an interview. And the third thing that you should do is then ask that person who else you should interview, who else might be great for the show, and that's going to expand your network and help you to build your personal brand.
When we get back on Ambitious Adventures,
This is my favorite pizza in Los Angeles. And I love it so much. I eat it pretty much every day.
Carlo is one of the top cinematographers in Hollywood. He's worked with guys like Ryan Seacrest and the Kardashians and Snoop Dogg and just anyone and everyone who's in Hollywood. And now he's in front of the camera hosting his own show. His first show was called All the Pizza, where you get to travel the world talking about pizza, something that we all love and enjoy. He got paid to eat pizza. And so we wanted to see how Carlo grew his personal brand from not even knowing the language to rubbing shoulders with some of Hollywood's elite.
So, Carlo, why did you want to go from Italy to Hollywood, California?
I came here many times before I decided to move here, and kind of on vacation. And I lived in Parma for 10 years before I moved here, where they make prosciutto and Parmesan cheese. It's delicious. And that's what we're gonna have tonight too, a little slice of my hometown. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, to move here and try to make it happen. But I came here on vacation and all these friends were working on cool projects, and I got to be part of it. And I was just like, wow, in this place people do what they love. And I was looking at jobs in movies and I'm like, wow, that's a job, that's a career. Every position, I was just like, that's insane. That makeup artist, it's a career here. Or the background extra. The background extra is a career here that people do their whole life, and you make good money out of it.
Audio Jungle.
So, Carlo, we're here at Desano. Tell us about this place.
Yeah, this is my favorite pizza in Los Angeles. I eat it pretty much every day.
Really?
So I usually keep it simple. So I get the margherita DOC or DOP, the origine protetta, right, I guess. And it's very simple. You can taste the simplicity of and the quality of the ingredients, like one by one. I usually, so is the other thing, like get it small because that's a Neapolitan size. Don't get it the big one, even though it's more convenient, the big one. The small one has like a better texture. Okay, so they just brought us the pizza, and this is probably like the most delicious one here. But I still love the simplicity of the margherita. It's pure happiness.
In All the Pizza, what has that show done for you?
And your brand,
And
like
your brand.
who you are.
Now for myself, I get recognized sometimes when I go to a pizza spot. I'm like, oh, Carlo from All the Pizza.
Really?
Very few, like comparing to other friends that I have that are like actors in movies and TV shows, like they get recognized all the time. But I had like my little moment of like celebrity, and 100% happened in pizza places, which is.
So I think most of the time we think about personal brands, we think about the people in front of the camera. We think about the Kardashians, the Seacrests, the guys we've talked to here, the Jake Pauls, the Lewis Houses. You're starting to build your personal brand in front of the camera, but you have a really strong brand behind the camera. So do you think that your own personal brand helps you to get those better jobs and things like that?
When you do these kind of jobs, you don't want only to have good product, which everybody does in LA, because they're working in LA.
So
you have to
LA, everyone can turn the camera on. Exactly. Right.
and do a good job.
Yeah.
Like really talented people are here. But I feel like the most important thing here is the personality. So who you are. Like people want to work with you because of you. And I just have a great time. Every time I work, I just have the best time ever. Like the moment I show up at 6 in the morning, like, let's have a great time today. It's gonna be a great time. You know,
Yeah.
you leave the studios, whatever location, and you're like, oh wow, that went.
That was good. That was fun.
And then you reward yourself with a pizza at the end.
Carlo had the passion for pizza, and he's actually turned that into a career. And I believe for any business, that passion is what drives you to become successful in business, no matter what it is. But passion is just the beginning. You can be passionate about something, but you have to put in the work to be able to make it to the top. He put in all the work from the beginning to get to where he is today. Carlo is the best tour guide we could have asked for in Hollywood. Not only did he serve us the best pizza in town, but he also showed us the best view, the Hollywood Observatory. You were sweeping floors when you first came here. Like, you were doing things that most people wouldn't do.
Yeah.
What kept you going to get to where you are today?
I mean, if you set yourself goals to where you want to be,
Yeah.
you just work until you get there, and then you set new goals, and then you keep growing.
Just work really hard.
Just work
Non-stop.
as hard as you can. Because there's, you know, if you're not available, they work on somebody else. If you're tired or if you don't want to do things, there's always somebody else ready to do that, you know? So you just...
So what do you think you did that made you so unique to stand out enough to get to where you are?
So sometimes I find myself working with people that they don't love what they do,
Yeah.
and I don't get it. Because if you don't love what you do something else.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. To me, it's not even work. It's just fun, you know? And I just love, even, I mean, at the beginning, it was fun to me because it was like on a movie set and everything. And I was just loving it. Just, you know, even if you're doing craft service and putting out trash can and cleaning the floor after, I don't know, an explosion or something because you're a PA. And I've done that many times, you know, and then putting back the house that you're renting, cleaning the toilets. We've done that. But you're thinking like the bigger picture. You're not thinking what you're doing right now in that specific moment. You're thinking of the bigger picture. Yeah. So you just step up, step up, step up, step up, and you grow, and then eventually you get where you want to go.
Well, clearly, we got a bigger picture now. Look where we're at.
That's also why I love this town. This is like, this is always like this any day of the year.
So in order to go where the action is and immerse yourself in that culture, the first thing that you need to do is you need to educate yourself. You need to listen to the podcasts and read the books and check out the forums and groups and communities of, you know, what's happening in that industry. After you educate yourself, well, then you need to get off the couch and go to those places. Physically go to those places. Is there a meetup group? Is there an event? Is there a workshop? Is there a place where they all congregate? You need to go there. And the third thing that you need to do is you need to ask questions, and you need to get to know what other people are up to and what projects they're working on, and ultimately that'll lead them to saying, hey, can you help us out? And it will get you that break that you've been looking for.
Up next on Ambitious Adventures.
So what is a celebrity sour? Like,
Well, I like to explain the celebrity shower as half gentleman, half lady of the night.
Celebrities. We love celebrities, we hate celebrities, we gossip about celebrities, but here's the thing, we're always talking about celebrities. So how do you take your personal brand and elevate it to that of a celebrity? And so we talked to two incredible superstars in Hollywood about how to do just that. The first is Jack Canfield, and if that name doesn't ring a bell for some strange reason, he's the co-creator and co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, a little book that sold more than 500 million copies all over the world. The second is Nick Nanton. This guy is an Emmy award-winning director, and he makes movies on people like you and me, and he's got one of the top personal branding agencies in the entire world. So how can people like you and people like me become celebrities? Well, we went down to the iconic Roosevelt Hotel, home of the first ever Academy Awards, to find out. So, Jack, when you think of a personal brand, what does a personal brand mean to you?
Well, you know, it's really interesting because this whole concept of brand was something I didn't understand. I didn't set out to create one.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I had one. The thing about a personal brand is you have to know, people want to know who you are. They want to know your why. Where are you coming from? Are you coming from service? Are you coming from trying to right a wrong? Are you coming from just trying to make a lot of money? You know, so I think your values are very important. And so I think your brand is how people perceive you in the world. And that's a combination of what you say, what you write, what you do, how you spend your money, what they learn about you. And when you live to be as old as I am, I'm 72 as we sit here and do this. And so I think if you're building a personal brand, you really have to think about everything you do. And if you think in today that there's no privacy anywhere, you know, we've seen people be brought down by something that was captured on a cell phone that no one thought they were watching, you know.
Right.
So you really have to be authentically yourself.
If Jack Canfield were to have to create a brand today, where would Jack Canfield start?
I think I would start on the internet because that's where most people go today. You know, even now I do books, but I'm doing more, you know, Facebook Live things. I'm doing more Twitter campaigns. We're doing more 3-minute videos. I think there was research that recently said if you send an email, if it's a video email, it's 7 times more likely to be opened up than if it's written. And so, you know, we're shifting our company a lot from the print world to the video world, you know, online courses, things that are available when anyone wants to do them because now we're international. And so people in Australia and people in Austria are not awake at the same time.
Exactly,
So we need to have things that are on demand where they can look at it. I would hire a lot of young kids coming out of universities who've been in marketing and all that kind of stuff because they passionately understand all that. For me, I would just study everything you could possibly learn. My great mentor, who was worth $600 million back in the 60s, he'd be a billionaire by today, he said, other people's experience, other people's expertise, and other people's money. Use all of those 3, you'll get very rich very fast. You don't have to do it alone.
So after we talked with Jack, we went down to the pool and talked to Nick for a little bit about, you know, how he's built the top personal branding agency in the world, helping people to become authors and get them on TV, walk the red carpet, and even film movies about their life. And we wanted to find out his formula to help people like you and people like me to become a celebrity.
Can we get 3 Don Julio Añejos on the rocks with cranberry and 2 limes in each, please? All right. The Celebrity Sour. It's a classic.
So what is a celebrity sour?
I like to explain the Celebrity Sour as half gentleman, half lady of the night. And, the funny thing about it, you'll find if you name something, it becomes a thing. Yes. If you don't name something, people don't know what to ask for, they don't know what to call it. Like when you go to order vodka, you order Grey Goose. If you go to order tequila, you go for Patron. You go for something with a brand. So as you're creating your own brand, why not make it fun? So one of the things we started doing was we started creating our own drink called the Celebrity Sour, and then it's spread across the nation. People now go, it's a lot of people's favorite drink. I mean, Greg had it with me first, you love it. Exactly. It's great, and so now people want the Celebrity Sour, and so we have to teach our bartenders when we go, when people come up the rest of the night and ask for a Celebrity Sour, that's what they mean.
You know, you've taken the concept of the drink, but really everything you've built around that, so celebrity branding is a term that you own, celebrity expert, the Celebrity Sour, the Celebrity Cigar. Like, what has that meant to your brand and how you connect to your customers, your clients, and just people when you meet them?
I would say that most importantly, you can really tell when someone's ripping you off because they're using your language to rip you off. You're like, wait a minute, I own that term, you can't do that. So that makes it, that's actually really nice. But then also, it creates community. When people speak a common language, they become part of a community. So you see it in every city in America. We're in Los Angeles. You have a big Hispanic culture here. People who speak Spanish, or ads that are in Spanish, or clubs that specialize in Latin nights, they draw in a certain community. And so when you speak their language, they come to you, and that's your community. So when you create the language, you create the community, you control the community.
What we're actually here to experience tonight is really about 10 years in the making. And one of the really cool things that you've been able to do is you don't just help people become experts. You've really kind of taken it to the next level and talked about celebrity experts. And you know what every celebrity expert needs to have?
What's that?
A red carpet photo. So you guys have the red carpets out tonight. The lights are going to be on. Can you show us how to take a good red carpet
do our
photo?
Best. We can do it with drinks or without, because there's both. You can do both ways.
Let's try them.
Let's try it. Yeah, let's try both. Yeah. Cool. So let's head on over.
Let's go this way. Hey, if you're a best-selling author, raise your hand. Hey. All right, we'll do it this way. All right, so since we're doing drinks this time, everyone get your drink ready. And what you want to do is you want to put one foot in front of the other, because it allows you to lean forward a little bit, because whatever's closest to the camera looks biggest. So you want to kind of lean forward so your face is bigger than your belly. So 1 foot forward, you just put your head forward. They usually take 2, 3, or 4 because people might blink. You got to get it right. So just sit there and smile for a minute. Try to hold it. And the secret is try to smile with your eyes, because you got to think of something that makes you happy, because if not, it'll look like a dead smile. You can actually tell if people are really smiling or faking.
I'm picturing a very good-looking woman right now.
There you go. Exactly. Whatever does it for you, let's get it done. So, all right. So then another one we can do is we can put our drinks down here. You want to be friendly on the red carpet too, so we can kind of do one like this. You got to be careful how you do this, because if you go too wide, you can have a big belly and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but we can try it like this. It's gotta look good.
So what's the difference between just an expert and a celebrity expert? What takes them to that next level?
A celebrity is somebody who you're drawn to and who you want to talk about.
Yeah.
So when you become a celebrity expert, you go beyond merely being an expert at what you do. You go to becoming a shareable expert, somebody that your clients and prospects want to tell their friends and family that they get to work with you. So when you're the celebrity expert dentist, your clients are out going like, hey man, I got my teeth cleaned today by the coolest guy. You gotta, here's the best-selling author, he's been on TV, he's great, you gotta go see him. It's just totally changes everything.
That's usually not what I say about my dentist after leaving the dentist.
They promote for you, and so that's where you want to get to as a celebrity expert. You want to make it so that you are ultimately shareable. People want to share you with their friends, their family, their audience, because it gives them credibility to even know you.
So how do you actually do that?
So you do that, we hire us now. You do that by showing your credibility and giving people things to share and talk about. So when someone comes, a dentist, no one's going to go run off and just, like you said, going to just shout from the mountains about their dentist. Yeah. But if their dentist gives them, an autographed copy of their newest best-selling book, if they give them a copy of the movie they co-produced on Jack Canfield or Brian Tracy, and they have these things that are like, a dentist isn't supposed to have these things.
Piece.
Exactly, cocktail conversation piece for sure. And all these pieces of credibility that is like, I don't even know what to do with this because I've never met a dentist who has this. And they got to be interesting. They have to look and feel great. You do that, and then it starts to have a viral effect because your book, as the dentist in this example, will be sitting on their coffee table in their house or their office, and then people start to ask questions like, "Oh, that's my dentist." Yeah. So those are the ways. And then also communicating regularly, always and often. Email newsletters are great. Physical newsletters even better. Show up every month in their mailbox with your photo on the cover, because the more you show up, the more they feel like they know you. And you just keep sharing knowledge, and the more you share with them, the more they'll become part of your community and they'll start sharing for you.
One of the biggest lessons I got from Nick was learning about how to create these terms and these words for your business. And it's just a way to create your own world, your own universe. And it's just by using these branded terms, and that's what helps position you as a celebrity. So if you want to take that personal brand to the next level and become that celebrity, it all starts with putting yourself in situations that celebrities would be put in. So if celebrities are on the red carpet, get on the red carpet. If celebrities are writing books, you need to write a book. If celebrities are on TV, get yourself on TV. The second thing you need to do is you need to then share those celebrity moments. So on your social media pages, in your emails, in your newsletters, share those celebrity moments. Share your book, share your red carpet photos, share those photos of you with celebrities, because now that starts to create that association in the minds of everyone else that you are indeed a celebrity. And the third thing is you want to start creating your own platform, create your own podcast, create your own video show, create write your own books and your own articles, and all that media starts to position you as the celebrity expert in your field.
Los Angeles. It really is the city of dreams. But it doesn't mean that you can't create Hollywood magic wherever you are right now. Creating your own celebrity-like personal brand starts by simply interviewing others. That's what Lewis Howes did when he wanted to discover the true meaning of greatness. And as we learned from Carlo and Jake Paul, you have to be the best at your craft. You have to be educated, you have to study, you have to work hard and be the best. Whether that's making 8-second viral videos or being the world's #1 pizza expert, you have to immerse yourself in your craft. And finally, to build that ambitious personal brand, start surrounding yourself with celebrities and being at the places where the action happens. You have to put yourself in situations where you can be seen and heard. But before we say goodbye to the city of dreams, there was just one more thing we had to do.
I had to Google the lyrics to this one. I say, push that bus. Everybody move to the back of the bus. Do you want to crump and slump with us? Cause we the type of people make the club get crunk. I say, push that bus. Everybody moving to the back of the bus. Do you want to slump and crump with us? Cause we the type of people make the...
Many a day has passed, the night has gone by, but still I find the time to put that bump up in your eye. Total chaos for these players. So we was asking, taking another route to represent the Dungeon family like great day. Me and my people decided to take the back way. We hit in every city, then we headed to that back cave. ATL Georgia, what we doing for ya? Bulldogging hoes like them Georgetown Hoyas. Boy, you sitting pretty, think my bro is sitting pretty, doing Donald Trump. You suckers like them circles round the whoa. Damn, we the committee, gon' burn it down, but us could bust you in the mouth with the chorus now. Say, ah, hush that bus. Everybody moving to the back of the bus. Do you wanna bump and slump with us? Cause we the type of people make the club get drunk. Say, ah, hushing that bus. Everybody move to the back of the bus. We don't know when the song ends, we ain't rehearsed, so we just keep going till the night begins, because we freestyling off the top of the dome. BC on the guitar, Giro on the microphone. We be rocking it. Bestsellers in the audience, raise your hands up, raise up the glass. We go rockin', we go party all night. Nick Nana got a drink on the left, drinking the right. Sean Bella on the cameras, make me look all good, smiling up, but we be doing it for the hood. We got girlies on the stage, stand on the front, doing it, man. We gon' rock until we drunk, drinking lots. I would like a drink. Somebody get me off the stage, cause I stink. We rockin', and we be rolling crazy. Bestseller summer, yeah, we doing it, baby, like how? Pushing that bus, I got nothing left. I'm about to go take a nap, so I'll see y'all later.
If you're still drinking out there. Oh, Greg, I got your phone up here. Nice photos.